Hello, everyone, and welcome to Just Asking for a Friend. I'm your host, Thor Gunderson, and today this show is all about going into the community. We're going to talk to, and over the course of the show, today's just one episode. We're going to talk to content creators, collectors, artists, sculptors, all people throughout the community, men, women, everybody. We're going to find out how they got into the hobby. We're going to find out what makes them tick, their favorite characters, all the stuff like that. We're going to find out it all. Today, we got on the maiden episode of this show, we got a very good friend of mine, a pillar in the community, my good friend, my brother, the Bushi Collector. So stay with us now. And here we go.
Hey, brother.
What's up, my man? How you feel?
What's up, the Dark Lord?
Oh, yeah, man. No, they say I ain't the Dark Lord no more. They got this celebrity death match on, and some dude beat me, man. Ain't that crazy? But it's all good. I ain't worried about it. How you been, brother?
All good, brother. I'm fine. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh, of course, man.
For this
you were one of the first people I thought about when they asked me to do this show, and I said I gotta get my man Bushi on here. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Thanks, my man. Thanks.
Oh,
I
man.
really appreciate it.
No, it's
I'm very happy
good
to be here.
Oh, welcome, man. The first, I like to find out, the beginning before we get to the collecting and stuff like that. Tell folks, where you're from and where you grew up, and just let them get to know you a little bit better. First,
okay.
Yeah.
So my origin is from North Africa. All my family is from there, from North Africa. Another part from Israel, and I born in Paris. I'm the first from my family who born in Paris. So I grew up in Paris. Then after that, I passed a big part of my life in Brazil. So I speak Portuguese fluent as well. And my English is not so good. So sorry for that, guys. I'm going to try to do my best. But so I lived as well in Israel because part of my family is there. So I travel a lot. I like to travel. And right now I'm in Spain.
Here's something you may not know about me, bro. My father, he's from Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
But his father was from Portugal.
Nice.
So my grandma. So I need to go to Brazil to examine the history. You see what I'm saying? I need to find the roots. Pause. And anyhow,
you're gonna be with me if you go there.
Oh, I need to go very bad, very bad. So anyhow,
I already know that you like the Toza.
Oh, Papa. Oh,
I know you like it.
I try not to think about it, but anyhow. So next, I'd like to find out, what were your first introduction into pop culture? Like when you first, Star Wars, the Hulk, all that kind of stuff. And then after that, we get into who's your favorite character and how they became your favorite character,
Okay. Well, I born in the 70s, so I grew up with this culture. And I remember my grandmother took me to the theater, to see Star Wars. It was the Return of the Jedi. The other one, I watched it in VHS,
Right.
As everybody. And I grew up with that culture. I was reading comic books all my life since I was a kid. So we grew up with that culture. I think it's how I can say that we are lucky, that we grew up in the 80s because
I agree.
It was so rich,
best.
In terms of creativity.
The best.
It was insane, Look, when we see a movie right now, we're gonna see it 1 time, 2 times Big Macs, but movies from the 70s and from the 80s,
not even close.
Yeah, not even close. We can watch them until today. We watch them.
Right.
So I grew up with that culture, and I like to draw, as well. When I was a kid, I also with the manga culture, DBZ. Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All that stuff. Cobra, but Cobra, I think you don't have it in USA.
You mean like G.I. Joe Cobra or?
No. Cobra the Space Pirate.
Oh no, I never seen that before.
It was Japanese anime
Okay.
inspired from a French actor,
Huh.
Jean-Paul Belmondo.
Is this on YouTube? I want to check it out.
Yes, it's on
Okay.
YouTube. It's on YouTube, and the anime it's absolutely amazing. It's from the 80s as well. So on one side, I grew up with the manga culture, and to the other side, I grew up with the US culture. You know, comics, movies, and all stuff like that.
Mm.
And it defined who I am as well. Then when I grew up, when I became a teenager, I was deep into sports, you know, and martial arts and all this stuff. So it was combined, you know, and it made the taste I have today, I guess, you know.
It is, you know, when you talk about the 80s, I try to explain, like, especially the young people, that it wasn't just movies. I'm talking about across the board, everything, music, wrestling, sports, everything was like, to me, was at the pinnacle in the 80s. You know what I mean? And it was just, yeah, I mean, you had like Michael Jackson, and that's when like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and like everything was, and it was and one guy said it, he said it was a magical time. It really was. And I remember, just like Rodney, the first Star Wars he saw was Return of the Jedi. For me, I saw Empire first. You know what I mean? And that's why I fell in love with Darth Vader. You know what I mean? I can remember the exact second. I was 4 years old. My mother took me 4 years old.
Amazing.
And it's just Star Wars has brought me so much happiness over, like, you know, I'm talking about good times, bad times. When you know a girl break your heart, I go watch Darth Vader, I feel better. You know what I mean?
Like Carrie Fisher was saying, Star Wars is family, you know?
Bro, I don't know if I ever told you this story. When we went to go see Return of the Jedi, right? And it was on a Sunday, right after Sunday school. We all got our dress clothes still on. My mother had this 72 Dodge Swinger, biggest car you ever seen in your life, one of those, you know, big boat cars, you know. And all my god brothers and sisters, we all got in this car. We went to go see the movie, right? Now, my whole life, my mother has been in love with Billy D. Williams as far back as I can remember, right? So we watching the movie. She's sitting behind us, right? And the part come with the Sarlacc pit, where he's about to fall into the Sarlacc pit. My mother is hollering at the top of her lungs. Not Lando, mind you. Lord Jesus, don't kill Billy D, please, God. And we all turn around like this. Because she in the movie hollering, don't kill Billy D. And finally they pull out Billy D. And she did just like this. She had something, you know, they give you a receipt. Oh, thank you, God. Don't kill Billy. We was like, oh, God. But that was my mother, though, man. And believe it, she loves Star Wars just as much as I do. And she even told me years later, she said, you know, I don't know what it was, but that wasn't my type of thing. But I love these movies, and that's why, you know. So, you know,
this is the amazing thing about America, you know, because this is your culture, guys. You know, in North Africa, in Europe, out of USA, you know, this culture, it with the people who born in the 70s and 70s, but the generation before, they don't have this culture, so they don't understand, you know.
No.
But in USA, it's even the grandparents, you know, they like it, you know. If you say Superman or Spider-Man
Exactly.
to anybody in the street, they know who he is.
Right.
But if you say Spider-Man to anybody in the street here, only the people of my generation know it, you know.
Right.
This is the difference. USA is on another level about that, about pop culture, because it's born in USA, so it's different.
Yeah, it was it's funny, man, you know, because I think about it, and you know, she's gonna be 80 this year, and like as much as I wasn't a big fan of the sequels, you know, the Kylo Ren stuff. When we went, me and her went to go see the last one that came out together, and I was damn near in tears. I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to go see this with her again, because this is, I mean, it's supposedly that was supposed to be the last of the Skywalkers or whatever. You know? And that's just something we've shared all these years, you know, and I'm gonna miss it, but it's just, that's what pop culture, to me, that's what pop culture, you share it with folks.
Exactly.
You know, we don't always agree.
Share it with folks.
Like you've seen us we arguing about DC and X-Men and Star Wars, you know, but everybody's got something, you know, that makes them tick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that being said, who first of all, who's your favorite character out of, you know, anything, Marvel, DC, whatever, and how did they become your favorite character? I've never asked you this, so I don't know.
I have a lot of favorite characters, but my two favorite. I have two favorite in the
Okay.
same level. I'm not gonna be very original, bro.
No, that's fine.
It's Superman and the Hulk. They
Oh.
are my favorite. It's very simple, but you know, after I love the Silver Surfer, I love Magneto, I love Dr. Manhattan. You know, Dr. Manhattan, it's so complex, so different than anybody, you know, and in the same time he have all the power and all the gift about all the superhero. And also the Watchmen is such a nice book, you know, it was such a nice book. But my favorite character, my two favorite character, it's the Hulk and Superman.
And how did they become? They just reading books, or was it like a moment where they just became your favorite characters?
Look, you know, as you know, we grew up in the 80s, born in the 70s. So the movie, first of all, with Christopher Reeve, you know, was so, you know, it was like a shock, you know, when you're a kid and you see a man flying. You know, it was the first time that we saw men flying. You know, for the kids today, they have so many superhero, you know, on movies and so many series. You know, they have Netflix, they have everything. But us, the first time that we saw someone flying, it was Christopher Reeve. You know, so it was like a whoa. You know, like Star Wars. Star Wars was a whoa. Rocky was a whoa. You know, so. Also Rocky, but Rocky is not a comic book character, but this is one of my favorite characters. It's like, you know, the movie Rocky. It's like my Bible. But anyway, my favorite character about comic books, it's Superman and the Hulk, as well. You know, I was reading the comics of Superman and the Hulk, and in the same time we had the show, you know, with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby, you know, on TV.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, for me, it was representing everything, you know, about being a good man, having power, protecting the other. It was full of values, you know.
Yeah.
Today it's a little bit different, you know.
I was about to say that. See, that stuff, there was a message into it. Nowadays, it's not really like that, you know what I mean?
Today, they teach you how to lie, how to be fake, and our generation was the opposite. They was teaching you how to be real, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different.
I'm gonna tell you, it's funny you said those two characters, because one thing I've always dreamed about is, ever since I read The Death of Superman and I saw Doomsday, I said, man, I would love to see this dude fight the Hulk. I was like, because I gotta be honest, I've never been the biggest Superman fan. I did like the Christopher Reeve. I do like Cavill. I like Cavill a lot. But when I saw Doomsday, I said, I would dream to see this guy fight the Hulk. You know what I mean? Because
a crossover would be amazing.
It just seems perfect. You know what I mean? It's like,
it would be amazing because they have both the same power. More you beat them, more they become strong.
Exactly.
It's the same, you know. So yeah, it would be pretty interesting. But today, you know, it's only about money. You know,
I know.
You know, this shit of you know, to don't do the thing together. It's business. You know.
I know.
And because in the past there was crossover in the comic books.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
there was Hulk and Superman.
I remember.
You know?
Yeah. And then they kind of like crossed like Wolverine and Batman and made some kind of I remember.
Yeah.
And even before that,
at the time. Yeah.
I think they had one before that. It was the Hulk and Batman, or it was like Superman and Spider-Man. They did little crossovers, but like nowadays,
even Muhammad Ali with Superman.
I remember that. I remember that too. Yeah.
And it was drawn for Neil Adams. It was amazing. I love this penciler, by the way.
So, getting into collecting, how did you like? What was the first? Like, I always like to find out how
my first statue
discover. Like, how did you discover them? Like, that's always like.
Bro, from what I remember, I always was a collector. Any kind of collecting, you know, like comics, like I don't know, like figures, like action figures, sneakers, you know. But later, because when I was a kid, you know, I was dreaming about having Jordan sneakers,
right.
And I could pay it only when I grew up, you know. And after it was the opposite. I became a collector, you know, of sneakers, and I was like with 200 prayer. It was insane. But to come back to how I became a statue collector. So my first statue was Cobra the Space Pirate.
Oh, okay.
2000, yeah. The character I talked a few minutes ago, you know, that was coming from a manga, a Japanese anime, and it was in 2005. Then, you know, I wasn't deep into collecting, into statue collecting, you know. I was buying a statue once in a while, you know. My first statue was this one. Then after I start with Bowen, you know, but not like, you know, like crazy, you know, because I was in how I can say that, I was, you know, in sport industry, and you know, for me having a few, it was okay, you know. But one day I had a big injury, and I couldn't walk anymore on my back, you know. I did a few surgeries, and in my bed I didn't walk during 1 year. And during this time, you know, this is the moment I became a collector, because I was so deep into pop culture, you know, and Bowen was growing, and you know, there was statue coming out every time, and it was so connected with the comic books, you know, and I couldn't move, you know. So I was watching the statue, the pre-order, then Sideshow came out after, and that's it.
Yeah.
I became a junkie. That's it.
I always love to hear how people got hooked in, man, because I remember it was a Bowen statue and it was a Sideshow statue that got me. And I remember for the longest time I would go on eBay, and you know, of course, I never really talk about, but you know, I don't call myself Thor because of Marvel Thor, but Marvel Thor, that's my guy as far as comic books go. And I remember seeing that spinning hammer Thor, the Bowen one. And it's like I saw some other Thor statues, and I was like, no, they're just not right. You know what I mean? But that one was like perfect. Like that's the Thor that I like. You know what I mean?
I pre-ordered this one day one.
But see, you always got to get over how much they are. You know what I mean? Like when you first see it, you're like, man, I ain't paid. They want how much for this stuff? And like the very first time, you're like, nah, that's. I mean, you know. So I just
it's
kept
too
it in
expensive.
There. Yeah, it's too expensive.
And look now, you have pre-order from XM like 5K or stuff like that.
And it's like, oh, that's not too much.
$150. We were saying
yeah.
It's expensive.
So now it's like no problem, you know. But
yeah, now it's crazy, you know, have the different perspective, you know. But I'm happy that we come from the beginning, because we grew up with the evolution of the community. So today our collection is super solid, you know. And we don't sell statues because we love it. But you see the people who arrive in the community right now, they buy everything.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that too.
It's insane, brother. It's insane. They don't know what they like. They don't know what they love. They didn't grow up with that culture.
I'm so glad you brought that. We're going to get to that in a second though. But it like I said, that first initial moment, you know, but the one, obviously, it had to be a Darth Vader statue, you know, to push me over the edge. When I first saw that the Mythos one, the first one, when he's holding the helmet and he's looking at it, and I said, and I saw it, and I sat there just like this. I said, I don't care how much this thing costs. I said, I'm getting that. And I just thought that would be it. You know what I mean? When I finally got it, I said, man, I gotta get some more of these things. And I literally like just turned and looked at it, you know, and I've had people when I used to have, I sold it now because I got all 1/4. I'm like, you know how you get OCD and you don't want no 1/5 and 1/4, and you know what I mean? So I'll probably get it again one day. But anyhow, when I had that statue, I had people who didn't remotely care about Star Wars, and they saw that, they said, man, that's a bad statue. I was like, you know what I mean?
That's a bad statue.
And, right. And that's you know, and that's it. I always like to hear how people, you know, the piece that brought you in to the dark side, you know what I mean? And but yeah, now we'll get to the community in a minute. Now, as far as statue companies, like which ones do you find, like now that we got J&D and Prime One and Sideshow XM, which one do you find that you're more, that their style fits you, like, you know, the most, like which, like, you don't have to be the ones you own the most of, but like
It's
Now
a nice question. It's
Yeah.
an interesting question. Well, back in the day, it was Bowen, definitely, you know, because, man, he was a complete game changer, you know.
Yeah.
We had a few figures back in the day, you know, and when Bowen arrived, it was insane. The statues was straight out of the comics.
Yep.
It was
They sure
insane.
were.
So, and the proportion, you know, Randy Bowen is a sculptor as well. And, you know, when you see the level of detail today, it's insane. But when you see the proportions of the sculpture of Randy Bowen, man, he's still, to me, he's
Yeah.
still the king.
I
Now we had some details, you know. So, okay, the statue is way more intricate today, and the level of sculpting is it's very high, but also it's digital sculpting. You know, it's not anymore traditional sculpting. But Bowen, he was doing also, not him, but there was a few digital sculpting from Bowen as well. I think from Sosa, you know, Sosa was one of the first sculptors known in the community. He was already working from Bowen, Evie AY as well. The brother, I always scratch the name.
Kuharek.
Kuharek.
Yeah.
The Kuharek brothers, you know, there was a, you know, Bowen, he did a team, a very solid team of sculptors, and it was insane. So for the time, he was the king, definitely. And to me, he is the king forever.
I agree.
But if I have to choose one company today who is the best, who have the biggest authenticity, without a hell of a doubt, Sideshow. 100%.
I hear you.
100%. They have the best team of artists, you know. They give credit to the artist. They put the artist to another level, you know, with the interviews, you know. They have so much passion. It's a big business, you know. It's the big money, you know, Sideshow. But, you know, they have the authenticity and the love and the passion. So to me, they are the number one. So, of course, I love a lot of other companies, you know. I have statues from Prime One, from XM, from a lot of people. I don't have, you know, some collectors, they have rules. I collect line. What a bullshit is that, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It's a fucking bullshit. Sorry, I don't know if you can say
No,
fuck.
we get rid of that. Don't worry.
Anyway, it's a bullshit, you know, because let's say you want to collect Wolverine and you want from Sideshow, you know, and you bought it from Sideshow.
Yeah.
And you want Jean Grey, you know, to fit with Wolverine, but you don't like the one from Sideshow. You're gonna buy the one from Sideshow. You're gonna buy the one from XM.
I agree.
You're gonna buy the one from XM. So collecting line, to me, it doesn't make any sense. You need to collect what you like, and we will talk about that later. About you know what we say about collecting now.
Right.
People they don't collect what they like. They follow some hype, you know, and it's
Yes, they do.
you know back in the day it was, man, the passion was.
We're gonna
so
talk about that
hard.
too. Because, but far as Bowen, I do want to talk about Bowen because, of course, now stuff is more detailed and the paint is so much better. But like for what Bowen was, when, like you said, when you look at comic books back when he was out, it was exactly. I mean, it looked just like right out of the book.
Exactly.
So like in that aspect, they were perfect. It's like, you know, they were just as detailed as they needed to be. So like you could equate that to what stuff is coming out now. You know, now it's more people's visions of what stuff, their depiction of what it is. You know, sometimes you get stuff for like, okay, they got this comic book cover and they make it, you know, look like that. But a lot of times it's the artist's rendition of what the character should look like. But Bowen, I swear to God, even now that Dr. Octopus goes for huge money. Some of his pieces still go for a lot. I mean, and he was just fantastic. Like people always say Bowen, it was the gateway drug to the, you know, that was the marijuana of statues to get you into the statues. You know what I mean? And yeah, Sideshow. I say across the board probably. I'd have to agree because I collect Star Wars, more specifically Sith Lords. You know, they didn't come out with most of the Sith Lords I want, you know, because it's about money. they make Vader, and then
now we talk about comic book statues because if we talk about movie statue, to me Sideshow is not.
We'll get into that too, yeah. But I mean, I was just saying in general. But they did now. Finally, when they came out with these Royal Guard, like I was waiting a long time because they had stormtroopers and everything else, and it's like, man, I need the Royal Guard. And when they show it, I said I gotta have two.
Yeah,
I said
it
I
was
got
nice.
to have two
It
of
was
them. You know
amazing.
what I mean? And but yeah, far as movie, what do you think? You think it's I personally think it's prime one. I would have to say. No,
I
mean,
would say
yeah.
the best about movies, it's Blitzway.
Okay, no, yeah, I forgot about them. Yeah,
Man, the level of likeness is insane. Is insane. This guy, Arnie Kim, he's a fucking alien.
The Godfather. They got the Godfather one.
Man, he's the only guy to me who nailed perfectly Christopher Reeve. It's it's the same. But I think it was a custom. I think he did it. He did Bruce Lee to Blitzway. And
Rodney has that. Yeah. He got both of them. He got two of them.
Man, and everything they do, the likeness, it's so nice, I like comic book statues, because it's eternal, Now actors, I'm not deep into collecting actors, out of, Darth Vader, Superman as Christopher Reeve, Christopher Reeve as Superman, The Godfather, all the epic movies, but I see a lot of people collecting like all the new characters, from the movies. I'm not attracted by that, I'm not attracted to have, I don't know, I don't know how to say name, but the actors of today,
No, I agree with you. If
they're not epic, like
no.
like the, I don't know how I can say that, but this is how I feel.
No, I agree. As far as comic book characters go, like I don't want no actor. I don't want a statue of Henry Cavill.
Exactly.
Like I don't want Robert Downey Jr. I don't want none of that stuff. I want, just give me the comic, how they look in the comics.
Exactly.
I mean, I just, that's me personally. I mean, Star Wars, it's a movie. That's what it is.
Exactly. Even if there is comics, this is movie in first place.
Yeah.
In our heart, it's movies. Because we get to know Star Wars by the movie. It's not like Superman or Hulk or all these characters that we knew first by the comic books. So I agree 100%. If I want a Godfather, yes, of course I'm gonna. It's nice to have a statue like that. But if it's comics, I want the comic version.
And another thing is, as far as Star Wars goes, they're not coming out with a new Luke Skywalker every 5 years. It's like Batman. That's what's starting to get on my nerves with Batman. Every 3-4 years, we got another Batman. We got first it's Bale, then it's Affleck. Now we got this vampire dude, and it's
Keaton first.
Yeah, Keaton first. So it's like, come on, man. It's like how many? If you do collect that stuff, then I guess you gotta every 3-4 years you gotta collect a new actor piece, and they come out with it. But me, I've never been attracted to, like you said, getting
the same for me.
Playing.
I respect to collect that, but I don't feel it. I'm not into that.
Yeah, I mean, we might consider Gal Gadot for about 5 minutes, but then we say no. But if they put Morena in the Wonder Woman,
I have a statue of Gal Gadot.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. If they put Morena in the Wonder Woman, we might have to think about that. Very, just saying. So anyway, so now I know this is a hard question. Before we go get into the community, what is your favorite piece, like that? Sideshow XM, something like that. What do you have a favorite piece or a couple? It could be 2-3 pieces.
Oh wow, it's hard because I have like.
It is hard. It's like your children. It's like
I have around 300 pieces, something like that. So right now everything is in storage.
Right.
Because I'm building a new collector room.
Oh wow!
I saw the architect 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna go fancy.
You got to. At this
so
stage
be prepared.
Game,
be prepared. Next time you're gonna see something.
Yeah. Tell you what, we have you back on and have her do a tour on and take us through it.
You remember the first time we did that? It was
I do.
Time flies, brother. It was like what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. And there was the collection on my back, but right now everything is in storage. So
that's fine.
I'm gonna go fancy and I'm gonna display everything. But anyway, to answer to your question, man, this is hard. Well, let's start with my private commission, because
Okay.
as you know, I like to do private commission. You know?
I didn't know if you want to talk about it now, but okay.
And about my favorite private commission, oh man, probably the Hulk versus Wolverine. You know? The Hulk smash like that.
Yeah.
Is my favorite. You know, I have a special care for the Sentry, because Sentry, you know, the story behind the scene, it was so amazing. I don't know if I can speak about that because it was, you know, but next time I will tell the story about that, but it was amazing, you know. We joined the money together for this Sentry, you know, it was, you know, we gathered the money together and we succeed to produce it, you know, and each one of us, we were 30, you know, in this project. And we were so happy when we got these statues, you know, this statue in our collection. It was amazing. But my favorite is the Hulk smash versus Wolverine. Now, from Sideshow, my favorite piece from Sideshow, you know, I could say, okay, the OG Hulk, you know, the Kirby Hulk, the first one, because, you know, it's a big.
Do you have that one?
I had it and I sold it.
Oh wow! Yeah, the gray one, or the
the green one, and I regret so much, because now when I see the value, it's not even about the value, you know, because I'm a huge Hulk collector.
Right.
I have a lot of Hulk, you know, and this statue is so epic, and I love it. Back in the day, I was saying, look, he looked like a gorilla, you know, a little bit, you know, but this is the Kirby Hulk, you know, so I regret a lot that I sold it. And today to buy it, it's pretty difficult because you see the value, it's super expensive. But from Sideshow, my favorite piece from Sideshow, I would say the OG Black Panther. You know, you know, the pose like this, it's so aggressive.
That's the one he got the spear. That's the one with the spear, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. The exclusive version, you know, it's so nice with the black spear, and. I love this statue. You know, it's not a very complex statue. You know, it's just the character with the dynamic pose. The base is pretty simple, but it's in my. I guess I think it's in my top 3 or top 5 statues of all brand. You know,
all time. Yeah.
I love this statue. Now about XM, without a hell of a doubt, Magneto on Throne. You know,
I've seen that one. I've seen that one in person.
Man, this statue, you know, it was such a game changer, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, XM, they owe everything to this piece, you know, because when they dropped this piece, it was like a bomb, you know. Before they did a Captain America, a Hulk, and I think there was another piece, but, you know, the collector, us, the community at this time, it was very small, you know.
Right.
And we didn't support, you know, pretty much this Captain America and this Hulk. But when we saw this game changer, you know, Magneto on Throne, it was so different. They did a different design, you know. It was in fact a what if story, and I love that. I love that. You know, they didn't copy anything. After they did some stuff that I don't like, but this one, it was a complete game changer because they did a what if story, you know. The suit was different. We never see that suit in any comics. And usually I like comic accuracy, you know. But this one was the exception to confirm the rule, you know.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Then we got crazy. We all pre-ordered this piece. It was $550.
Wow. Especially for how much it goes for now. You know
Man, what I mean? You see now it's crazy. Like $3,000 after market.
$3,000, yeah.
If I knew, I would have bought 10.
There's so many statues I can say that about, but you know.
But you can't know, you know, it's difficult. I would say now, you know, with a lot of years of experience, we can guess, you know, when you have a lot of years of experience, but still, it's very difficult to guess. But, okay, from XM, it was this one. It was Magneto on Throne. And from Prime 1, it's difficult from Prime 1.
Everybody like that Superman from Prime 1, that the Hush one. Everybody.
Look, I love the portrait. The portrait is insane. Now, you know, I like it, but there is only one angle that the statue is absolutely amazing. And from other angle, I don't know, there is something weird with the leg. I'm gonna tell you what I think. It looked like a manga character about the body, not the face. The face, I love it, but the body, it's kind of manga proportions,
Right.
It's not like comics, proportions. And the sculptor who did it is very good, but he do a lot of manga stuff, And in manga, he's so good. He do Fist of the North Star. He do a lot of DBZ stuff. And when he did that Superman, I felt kind of a manga spirit in it, So I love it. It's very nice, but it wasn't enough to take my money. So I don't know. From Prime One, it's difficult. It's difficult. They have so much piece. I don't have. I would not put Prime One in my favorite piece. I would stick to Sideshow and XM.
Well, I would say this far as that. First of all, that Superman. To be honest with you, I like the black one better than I like the regular one.
Yeah.
And I like that portrait where he got the beard. Not the one with the long hair, where he got the short hair and when he got the beard. Like, to me, that is perfect. You know what I mean?
The Barry Gibbs.
The Barry Gibbs. But it's just, he just looks sharp, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, it's a badass Barry Gibbs.
And I would say, but I wouldn't pick that one. I would say if I had to pick one Prime One piece, it would probably be the Batman Who Laughs. The one with the three Robins and the chains and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot this one.
Yeah,
this one is so intricate, so nicely done, with so much detail. The sculptor who did that is very nice as well.
Yeah. So,
but I forgot this one. This one is very nice.
And
very
then
nice.
Back to XM. Even I had, this is before I committed myself to just buy Sith Lords. I used to have Ghost Rider. And that was another one of those pieces that I have to get this. I have to get it.
Nice.
But the problem was I don't care nothing about Ghost Rider. So I ended up selling it to Junior.
You need to be connected with the character.
Right. And you find that out later on, during your collecting journey. And that you could have nice looking pieces, but now we're gonna get into the community because that's what a lot of folks doing now. And it's just I just found out that if you have no passion for the character, then it's just or the genre, then to me it's not, it ain't worth it. It's nice to have it because like I see a lot of these folks buying pieces and selling pieces and buying pieces and selling. It's like, well, why are you in? What are you doing? So now we can start talking about the community. And you've told me a lot of times, like after we started over mic, and you said, man, you have saved. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, man, you brought all these people together. I was like, wait, because I wasn't here when it was really, because I heard it used to be really toxic. And Tim tells me all the time of how it used to be, And so you go ahead and talk about like the community, how it was and how it is now. You know what I mean?
How it was magic. Brother, we were waking up in the middle of the night to pre-order statue,
I've done that a few times.
Yeah. And it was sold out like this.
Yep.
Now it's impossible. You can't see that anymore. It's over,
Too many pieces.
Because first of all, the prices, it was 350 at the time, 250. And now it's like 1,000, 1,500, it's
11,000.
Yeah, 11,000.
11,000. The new Mythos Vader is 11,000 of them.
You see, so nobody gonna wake up in the middle of the night. We're gonna wait a little bit and we're gonna check first. So it was magic because first of all, we were only a few, the community was very small. So we used to know each other, most of us. And there was a group, Statue Collectors. There was only like 300 people, Today, now there is like
50 groups.
50 groups. What, you crazy? There is thousands of groups. I cannot count anymore. Every time I open Facebook, I have like 99 notifications plus, and I can't check nothing. It's impossible.
Nah.
And even today in this group, Statue Collectors, there is like 30K people, something like that. It's a lot of people. And it was a lot of passion. And when we were pre-ordering something, it was because we were connected with the character and because we were loving the statue in first place. We were buying what we like. And I think it's the most important. It's about passion. What is the point to buy a statue because everybody buy it? You know, I think I'm gonna tell you what happened. I think back in the day, you know, at our time, you know, there was a lot of graves, you know, and a lot of statues like Dr. Doom on Throne from Sideshow, the OG Hulk, even after, you know, with the XM Magneto and Bowen statues, you know, there was like the Silver Surfer, you know, the museum pose. You know, you remember this one, the chrome one? It was I think it was $150, you know, at pre-order, and later it was like 1K. So, you know, the statues aftermarket was getting very expensive. And the new generation think it's like this for every statue. So I think they buy statues, you know, to make money, and not because they have passion for this hobby and passion about collecting, you know. I think they want to make money, but what they doesn't understand, you don't make money with statues, you know. You can make money sometimes, you know, with the, you know, if you buy 2 XM Magneto, something like that, and one later become a gray, and you're gonna say, okay. But man, you need to buy because you like the statue in the first place, you know. If you want to make money, go to do real estate, you know. I don't know, but man, you know, so all this new generation, not all, because there is a lot of new collectors who have a lot of passion as well, you know. So I met a lot of new people, new collectors who are amazing, you know. But most of the community today, they are like sheep. They just follow hype. And the proof of that, you know, is that when you open Facebook today, you see tons of statues for sale. And worse than that, you see collectors selling like 20, 30, 40 statues in the same time, you know? We never see that back in the day. Back in the day, we were opening Facebook, not even Facebook, on eBay, and we were searching like crazy to find what we want. It was impossible.
Exactly.
You know, and when we was finding a grave, we was like, wow. Today, you just open Facebook and you have all, everything is for sale, you know, so I think it's pretty sad, you know, but still, it's even, in some ways, it's nice, because, you know, competition, it's always nice.
That's
so sometime in the middle, you see one grade, we're gonna smash all the other statues. And this is good. This is, in some ways, about the community, this is sad, but in some other ways, there will be always a grade in the middle, always, but because this is art.
The good part about, there's one good part about that, with so many people selling, and I've for my whole time I've been doing this, I've preached patience to people. I said, look, just because you see it and it's a price you can't handle doesn't mean you got to go out and buy it. And I learned that I had the XM Boba Fett, right? And I bought it, I pre-ordered it, and I got it, and got it. It was, you know, it's expensive when I got it because, you know, the shipping and everything. And then, so 1 year later, I saw somebody, one of these guys, you know, one of the resellers, he was having a clearance sale, and he sold that piece for $700 shipped. I said, man, I paid twice that much. You know what I mean? And so then I just started waiting, and then I would get pieces.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But people now know I gotta have it now. And nowadays, when you look in the, like you say, you look in the groups, people posted links. Oh yeah, Sideshow selling this 30% off with free shipping. They selling this 15% off with free shipping. And it's like, so why even pre-order it?
You said everything. Today you need to wait. You know?
Yeah.
Look, I have like I think around 30 pieces from XM, and like 25 of them that I bought. I see them to the aftermarket between like, oh man, it's insane. Like almost 50% less, you know, aftermarket. Yeah. So I lost a lot of money, you know. But yeah, of course there is a few great in the middle, but we need to wait today. And you know, I think people who came from our generation, who was collecting from the beginning, like you and me, we know how to study the market, you know. Right. If we have to buy this statue at pre-order right now, or if we have to wait, you know, because there is something that I really don't like, you know, that I see sometimes, you know, it's when a collector, he buys something a little bit later, and he said, he posts the statue, and he said, oh, I jumped the train a little bit later. Sorry for that. Man, What the fuck is that? It's art, you know, and if it's a nice art, it's timeless. A statue, a beautiful statue,
Right.
you know, there
Just
is
like
no
music.
time for it.
Just like music. Yeah.
Like a classic, you know. So this is exactly the point where you see the people are following hype like sheep, you know.
The one I hate is they put a picture up of two statues, and they go, "Which one would you get?" Like, who? We ain't buying the statue. Which
Buy the
one
one you like.
Yeah, which one you like?
Which one you like?
And they taking votes, and I've seen them. There's okay, so I'm gonna buy it. Whoever they vote for, that's the one they buy. And I'm like, are these people serious? But you know, and I always write whenever they do that. I say, right, buy the one that you like. And then as far as what was I gonna say? As far as the reselling stuff and people making money, yeah, I've seen our boy NYC. I was on eBay not too long ago, just looking to see if I always take a peek, and I see pieces that are just being shipped that they putting on there for double the price, trying to sell it. And I'm like, man, it's just like you say, people are trying to make a profit, and it's just sad,
This is really stupid,
it's terrible,
But don't get me wrong, it's really nice to have a grave, to have a statue gonna take value. You have something valued, I love that. I really love that. But this is not why I'm gonna buy the statue.
No.
In first place, I'm gonna buy the statue because I love it. And if it become a grave, okay, I'm gonna be happy for sure. It's very nice to have something valued. But to buy the statue, with the intention to sell it after, this is not pop culture,
No.
This is, about classic canvas, classic sculpture. You have people, this is their job to do that. But in pop culture, there is a lot of passion, We are nerds in first place. And I'm proud to be a nerd, So it's a lot of love about all this pop culture and all this what happened in the 80s, in the 70s, we are so connected to that, So, but still, the community, there is a lot of good points as well today.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because nobody could have fathomed that this was like all our characters we would look up to back then. We had toys and stuff, but nobody saw this coming. No, like when the first time you see one of these things, and especially if
the dog is became crazy now. What the hell? Hey, Vaya.
And it's just
sorry, brother.
No,
and
it's
if you hear some weird noise, like snoring or stuff like that, you already know what it is.
No, yeah, I know, yeah. And it's just amazing, like especially they capture a scene from a movie. Rest in peace, Jabba. But it's just I just hope it doesn't become, because it's just I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't like where it's going. I can just say it like that. Ever since we've gone off of the air, pretty much. We come on every now and then, but it's I watch some of this stuff, and it's just I don't know, man. I can't put my finger on it, and it's just becoming too trend. Like you said, it's a herd mentality, and people getting stressed out of, or like I laugh at some of these stuff. Like people worried about edition size and all that. It's like, do you like the piece? I don't care if it's 10,000 of them. Do you like it? End of story. And then now they're reproducing stuff and making and makes the old one not less valuable, and people are losing their minds over that. I'm like, good God, people. And especially with stuff going on in the world. Like, who gives a damn about some damn edition size? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. But anyway, I've been asked to ask every guest this too before we go. Like, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer. If you could have anybody's powers, who would it be? Like, you pretty much told, any.
That's quite simple. But I was going to say Dr. Manhattan, because they have all the power without any weakness,
Yeah.
He's not, for example, Superman, the magic, is his weakness, you know,
And
or kryptonite.
Yeah.
But Dr. Manhattan, nothing, absolutely nothing, you know. But because of that, he's very sad, you know, and very lonely.
Yeah.
So I really don't know, you know, it's, you know, because if you look at it, all the superhero, they're very sad in some way, you know.
Mhm.
You know, you don't have a happy superhero, you know.
No.
And I believe in life, you know, like was telling me my master, take the same feliz. It means you have to be feliz, you have to be happy all the time,
Mhm.
you know. So let's say, I don't know, brother. I don't know. I really don't know.
No, it's okay. I mean, I figured you would say either Superman or the Hulk, but Manhattan, like you said,
Maybe Superman, you know, maybe Superman because you know it's a. But I'm definitely not Superman. You know, I'm more related to Hulk. You know, you know,
you and David.
you know, my daughter. When I love Superman, and she look at me and she says, "Superman, you have nothing to do with Superman. You're not Superman. You're Wolverine always." Like, you're Wolverine and Hulk in the same time. You have nothing to do with Superman. And I say, okay.
Is Wolverine her favorite character or?
I love Wolverine.
No,
One of my favorites. You know,
your daughter, is that her favorite character, Wolverine, or?
The favorite character of my daughter, you know, it was at one moment it was Black Panther. You know, after the first movie, it was Black Panther.
Wow.
Man, she cried when Chadwick died. She cried.
Oh my God! Wow. Did she like this new one or no?
She didn't see it.
She didn't see it. Yeah, I think she should see it.
We're gonna see it soon.
Oh, have you seen it yet or no?
I didn't.
It's on Disney Plus now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
And that's when I watched it. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the first.
I was so busy those days, man, that I, you know, with building everything new, you know, with the architect and all the stuff, you know. But soon,
I'm gonna tell you,
I have to watch it, you know. And the thing is, I wanted to watch it with my daughter because she most of the time she with her mother right now. You know, I used to be with her every day.
Right.
But right now I have a few things to fix, so I'm waiting to be with her to see it. I don't want to see it alone because, you know, Black Panther, it was a favorite character, and she cried when Chadwick died.
Bro,
so I want to see it with her.
It overall it was a pretty good movie, but I'm gonna tell you this: the first 10 minutes, the first 2 minutes
of the second one,
yeah, Bro, you think she was crying? Oh my God! It's like, I mean, I ain't telling you nothing. You know, when the Marvel movie come on, and they got the pages flipping, and they got all the characters and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like when the Marvel, this one they just show pictures of him, and it's like, oh my God! It's like it didn't really hit me that he's gone until they showed that.
You cried.
I wanted to, but you know, I was sitting next to my girl. I couldn't sit there, you know, but I was like. And it was like quiet, and you just hear the page, you just hear the flipping of the pages, and you just see him, and you're like, oh my. Then they show like his funeral, like in the movie, and I'm like, oh man. My God, bro, this is, you know, and so.
What's your favorite movie from the MCU?
From the MCU, I would have to say the Winter Soldier. I would have to say the Winter Soldier. That was a hardcore. Like it didn't even feel like a Marvel movie to me. Like that was like some spy espionage type of stuff.
It was amazing.
And I mean, some of the fight scenes.
It's one of the rare that I saw more than one time, you know, because most of them I see them one time. I have all the Blu-ray. I have all the collection. Not the Black Panther 2, of course. I didn't buy it yet. But, you know, the Winter Soldier was amazing. It's not my fave, but.
No, but I would say that's number one. Number two would probably be,
that fight in the elevator.
That one and the one with him, with both of them, when he's flipping that knife and they like on the street, and I was like, oh my God, this dude is amazing, you know. But that I would have to say that one, the original Avengers, and probably Endgame, and then
Endgame was amazing.
Fourth was we call it Infinity War. Like I like the end of Endgame, but like all that time travel
Man,
stuff.
when Black Panther arrived,
Yeah. Oh,
at
people
the
lost
end,
their minds. Like
he bumped it.
the theater I was
like
sitting
crazy
in,
the theater,
bro. The
brother.
theater I was sitting in, when he walked out, they knew, but when he was walking out, they knew it was him. And these people was losing their minds. I was like, Jesus God, you know, I'm looking, you know what I mean? But that I have to say, that part was so well done. That might have been like they might have even out Star Wars with that. You know what I mean? That like the way that he, you know, Captain America is Captain America. He's not gonna give up no matter what. But like it's you see all these, you know, Thanos got all his people. He's like, what is he gonna do? The next, you know, these portals start opening up, and he's like, he turns like, all right, man, let's do this. That you know what I mean?
Let's do this.
And it was fantastic. And
Fantastic.
And what? Okay, so what do you think about the one? We ain't got much time left, but like, what do you think about the ones coming out now? Like, I'm not a big fan of some of this new, like Love and Thunder, and besides the Black Panther was good. I did like the Spider-Man, this last one.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something about the MCU. On the really beginning, I watched them like, you know, like I wanted the MCU be connected with the comics, you know,
right?
And I was so disappointed, you know. Out of the Iron Man, the first one, it was pretty accurate. Also the Norton Hulk, you know, with Edward Norton, it was really comic accurate, you know. But the people didn't like it. I love it, you know. I think it's my favorite one, the Incredible Hulk from 2008. I love Edward Norton, you know. It's an amazing actor. There was Rickson Gracie. He was his teacher in the movie, so I was super connected to the movie, you know. And also, you know, Louis Leterrier, who did the movie, is a French guy and he's deep into comics, you know, into Hulk. He used to love to read the comic book of Hulk, you know, when he was a kid, and he did a movie super accurate, you know. And also the Hulk, you know, when he was transforming into Hulk, he was looking like the Delkion, you know, Hulk. So he was really comics, but all the other after that, I was so disappointed, bro. So I start to watch them with another eye, you know, like what if, like if it was a what if story with a sense of humor, you know, something funny, you know. I put the comic aside, you know, all the comic stuff I put it aside, and I say, okay, I go to see something else, and I start to enjoy the movies from there. From there, I start to enjoy the movie. So when I watch the movies, you know, from the MCU right now, I have a good moment. I like them. Of course, there is a few that are epic, you know, like Black Panther. You know, Black Panther is one of the rare that I watch many times. You know, this one is amazing. And but all the other, I have fun. But this is not, I don't understand all this collecting stuff. You know, you know, I want the comic book statues. You know, in my collection. I don't want the actors. You know, unless Chadwick. I pre-order Black Panther, you know, with the Chadwick face, you know. There is a few guys, you know, like this who will mark history, you know, forever, you know. They will be there forever. Yeah. But, you know, I believe Chadwick was something else, you know. He was
special.
Yes. He was different. He was and when you see all the other movies that he did, you know, man, he can play anything, and he's gonna touch your heart. Everything. And the main point about Chadwick is that you don't see Chadwick. You see the actor, the character that he is playing in the movie. You know, this is the point. And this is the gift of a great actor, to don't see the actor, you know, like Robert De Niro. You don't see De Niro. No. You see the character that he is playing, you know. So he was quite different, you know. It was something special, and but it's not the case for all the actors of the MCU. You know?
Well, brother, unfortunately, we done ran out of time. We can sit here for hours, y'all. This will be me and my man. We do this all the time, you know.
Yeah, what I mean? I feel like it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. So
with my man, the Dark Lord, you know, you're my brother.
I know, man. Bro, this y'all know this is my good friend, and we're gonna see if we can get you to send a few pictures of your collection. And we're gonna edit it in here. And we thank you for coming on, man. If you could tell folks, you know, they can find you on Facebook or whatever. And
bro, thank you very much. Thank you very much to Norman as well to invite me to this first. You know, I really appreciate
the first one.
the first one.
Yeah.
Much love and respect, guys. Love you. Much love.
All right, man. Appreciate it. And we want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this.
Thank
and,
you, guys. Thanks for watching.
Coming up next show, we got somebody you're really going to enjoy. Is my brother Weapon X, Mr. Tim Barushi. And that's going to be a real good conversation. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So take care, everybody, and see you next time.
Take care, guys.